for TJ Radio and all social media platforms. Again, your host, Drunko J. And as you know, it's Halloween weekend. We've got a trick or treat. And we definitely got a treat in our station. Definitely. We're going to Dominatrix. Peachdom. Jeez.
Hi.
How you feeling, miss?
I'm feeling good.
Bubbly.
Bubbly with the bubbles.
I'm so happy you came here because, again, we've had someone from Ireland, we've had someone from Scotland, but no one from Wales before.
Oh, Cymru and Beth. Well, that is well. I say that. I'm not actually fluent in Welsh. I just know, a couple of bits like Rydwin Hoffi Coffee and whatnot.
Okay, then. So whereabouts in Wales are you from then?
I'm from Cardiff.
Okay, from Cardiff. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Born there, raised there. I was born on one street and then we moved and lived on the other street for 20 years, like next to it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, as you know, the English here, we have a lot of slurs for other people, with the French, the Americans, the Irish. There's one that for the Welsh people, isn't it?
There is. Yeah, it's, I thought I wasn't allowed to swear though.
I call S for sheep, isn't it?
It is for sheep.
But why is
sheep
it?
S's.
Yeah, but why is that? Where did that come from?
Do you know what it is? It's because in the valleys, and we do have a lot of hills and we do have a lot of sheep. But I'm from Cardiff. I'm literally in the city. So when people call me that, I'm like, I don't see sheep every day of my life. And they're like, all right, boyo. And I'm like, it's like, can't really say that. That's kind of
I've never been Wales before.
Yeah, haven't you?
I've never been Wales before.
Oh my gosh, you'd love it.
Would I?
Yeah, I got to be honest. Cardiff's very multicultural anyway because we're a dock city.
Okay.
So, like, you go a bit further in. Don't get me wrong. You don't really see much more than farmers, and they're a bit xenophobe and all of that. But like in Cardiff, I've always grown up with all different cultures, and yeah, it's a very vibrant city. But it's quite small.
So does everyone know each other?
No,
Okay,
it's not so much like that. People are friendlier. They'll have a chat with you and stuff. Like you can say hello to people on the street, and it's not weird. But it's like you can get from one side to the other in like 40 minutes.
So if I go there, would they know that they can tell that he's from London?
Absolutely, because your accent will give it away.
Oh, without me talking though, innit? That's everyone just walking around.
Oh, without you talking? No, you could fit in quite easily. Yeah. There's all sorts of, like I grew up in a primary school where we had different religions, people from different backgrounds and all sorts.
Okay then.
So when I went like inland in Wales before, and they were like, "Ooh, an exotic gentleman," when and I was like, are you okay? But I'm from the city, so I was brought up with that. I didn't see it as any different. I knew obviously racism was a thing, but I didn't realise that. But you don't know what you don't know, do you? If you're in a farm in the middle of nowhere, like you are going to be like, ooh,
I hate
don't
that.
see that around these parts.
So your household, you was your own child then, or?
Yeah. So I live in a house that I bought.
You bought it?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so I live in my house with my little girl 50% of the time, and my 2 rabbits and my 2 bunnies.
Not about back in the days, like, did you go by, was you only brothers and sisters?
Oh, yeah, no, I had a younger sister. I do have an older sister who's like a half sister.
Okay.
We won't go into that because we don't speak, and...
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my younger one, we had the same dad. We had a very tumultuous relationship. He wasn't the best. Whose is. And, but yeah, like I grew up with my younger sister, but we were very close together.
What's the age difference?
18 months.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my mum thought breastfeeding was a good contraception. Spoiler alert, it's not. So yeah, very close together, and I got very jealous of that. And like we weren't friends for a lot of years, me and my younger sister, but we are now.
Why is that though?
That's nice. I think it's mainly because I was bullied.
Why was you bullied
in school?
What age was this?
So I was bullied all the way through primary school and high school.
By the same people, or?
I think it's because I had ADHD. I was undiagnosed ADHD, and I wasn't like presenting as such, but I couldn't like fit in with other people. Like I found it really difficult because I found noise very overwhelming, smells very overwhelming. Like if the teacher shouted at someone in the class, I would go red as if they were shouting at me because my nervous system was like, ah. So yeah, it was difficult for me. So I used to just play imaginary games on my own a lot, and that.
What
yeah.
imaginary games?
Yeah, just I don't know. I'd pretend I was outdoor say I was in the playground. Like this sounds so weird. I'd be in the playground, and like I would just pretend I was, you know, a mum, and this was, you know, the pool in the backyard, and we were all just doing, I don't know.
You had no friends whatsoever?
I had like one or two.
Okay, that's right. Because even like the new kids had friends like, on day 2.
Yeah, but lots of people do it because I was quite quiet. Like I was a bit socially awkward.
Okay,
You wouldn't
then.
think it now, but
Yeah.
I had to unlearn all of that.
So did you enjoy school then or not then?
No.
You hated school?
No, I did not like school. And yeah, and my teacher didn't like me because my mum got her friend fired.
Wait, your mum got her, how?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, apparently, I don't know. Well, my mum's passed away now, so I can't even ask her about it. So I'd love to be able to ask her more about that story, but she died when I was 22.
Condolences.
I know. God rest her soul. It was actually the anniversary. What's the date today? 1st, isn't it? 4th.
The 1st of November, yeah.
Yes, 4th of November. It'll be 11 years.
So you didn't like school. So what did you enjoy then when you was a kid then?
I like playing imaginary games. I was obsessed with butterflies. I would literally be outside all the time. I didn't realise when I was younger, but I used to ground myself quite a lot by just being in the grass.
What, you just lay in the grass?
Yeah, especially if it was a sunny day. Just lay in the grass, watch the bugs, watch the way, you know, plants. This is making me sound like a right weirdo.
Were your parents ever worried about you?
No. Well, they said that they thought I might have autism. But they never got me tested because my dad had bipolar and was too busy being an absolute menace to society because they didn't really understand bipolar and that back then.
Yeah. What about your sister then?
My younger one. So she was much more agreeable. She would eat whatever. I was a much fussier eater. She was a tomboy, so my dad loved her. And I just got the whole, why can't you be more like your sister? Why can't you be more like your sister all the time? And like as a kid, you're like... So, for example, she loved fire engines, yeah? And the noise that they would make, because it's so loud, isn't it? Like, my dad decided to take me and my younger sister to a fire engine factory, and they played the sirens the whole fucking time. The whole time. And I was just like this. I was like, oh my God. Like, my whole nervous system was just shot. And like, and he took me there because my sister loved it. I was like, I'm not her. Like, stop asking me to be my sister. I'm literally a completely different person.
Looking back now, do you honestly think your parents love both of you equally?
I think they loved us equally. I think he liked my younger sister more because he could relate to her more. Because that was, you know, she liked boy things, whereas I like girl things. I say that though, I did play some pretty messed up games with, like, you know, the Barbies. They'd end up having funerals and stuff, and I'd bury them in the garden. I know.
Yo.
I know. They were worried about me for a bit, but it was just, I turned out okay.
So, younger, who's your role model in that? Who was your hero then?
My hero?
Yeah.
Well, for a while it was Michael Jackson.
Okay. No talking. Wait, Black Mike or Mixed Race Mike?
Just all of his songs. It didn't really matter what. I didn't even know what he looked like until.
Yeah, I'm talking about which era. I'm trying to figure out which kind of era Michael Jackson was in, and that's why, isn't it?
The Bad.
Okay, yeah, now we're talking, yeah.
You know I'm bad, you know.
Liberian
Oh my gosh. Literally, I loved it. Like, Bad was my favourite song. Billie Jean was another one.
Okay.
And Dogging Me Around. Just stop dogging me around.
Okay.
Oh my God, I loved it. But then I found out he was, you know, all the stuff. I even had the doll.
Okay.
That sang Black or White at me.
Is it?
Yeah, it was this little doll. I loved it.
No, we're talking.
No, at my 9th birthday, right, because we had like a little DJ come to the house. With little, you know, the little crap discos. And so I was like, if they play Steps, I'm going to kick
Tragedy.
off. I hated Steps.
Why?
I just didn't like them. I liked Spice Girls, but Steps, I don't know what it was.
Tragedy.
Oh, I hated it. It's triggering me. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. I think one of them died, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, one of them died. Yeah,
oh, my
yeah.
gosh. God rest his soul. It wasn't me.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I hated you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I just wanted, to be honest, at my disco, I was like, no, he needs to play Michael Jackson for the whole time.
Is it?
And he refused. confused. And I was like,
it's my birthday.
I know. It was like the audacity. I am 9. Like, play bad. What the hell is wrong? He played 2 Michael Jackson songs. He was human.
I can imagine.
With my crimped hair and my my velvet dress with some sparkles on it.
So when did you come out with your
When did I come out of my shell?
Yeah.
That took quite a while. So I think I had a really hard transition from being a kid. Like, I actually had to get told when I was 11 and about to go to high school to stop playing with Barbies. And that was quite heartbreaking. I was like, oh, I've really got to grow up now. And I've really got to be normal. And they actually sat us down because I went to Cardiff High School. They sat us down in an assembly and they told us Santa Claus wasn't real.
Is that how you found out?
No, I knew already.
Oh, okay,
Because
okay.
I was crafty and I was like, why? When I was 7, I was like, why is your handwriting the same as Santa's? This is very sus, mother. And like, so I knew.
Okay then, okay.
But there was some special needs people who freaking didn't.
Yeah, you got to spoil it for them.
They didn't know. And like, so obviously one of the special needs kids was like crying. And it's like, you can't sit us down in assembly and tell us Santa Claus isn't real. Like, what's that got to do with education?
Yeah, it's a bit wild now thinking about it now.
Oh, it's wild. It is mad. But yeah, so I would say like I didn't really get on with most kids in primary school. I had like one little bestie. I had one girl who liked me, who's from like the popular girl. She was like a natural leader.
Okay.
You know what I mean? One of those people. And she liked me. So if anyone picked
Why did she like you then?
I don't know. I guess I can be nice sometimes. I don't know. We had a connection. We were so she was born across the street from me. That was true. And I was obviously born after her because she's 3 months older than me. But our mums knew each other. And so we'd had, I think, play dates and stuff before.
Yeah.
And she knew me and she was like, oh, you know, come with me, Peachy. Nearly said my own name then. And she'd be like, come with me, you know, and, you know, we'll be friends and stuff. And she ended up going to a different high school. So where she used to look out for me in primary, she couldn't do it in high school no more. And all our friends, so she went to a new school, made loads of new friends because she's a natural born leader and that's what she does. And like, I went to Cardiff High with all friends who basically got there. It's their time to shine.
Okay, so what was high school like for you then?
It was awful. Well, up until year 9. So when you turn 14.
Is that because that's when I lost my virginity. So it's 14 then, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
I know for an SW worker, a sex worker. for a sex worker,
I know the year.
I lost my virginity at 16 with a boyfriend that I was in love with.
Love or lust?
Love.
Love or lust?
Serious love.
Seriously?
We were together for nearly like 2 years, so yeah.
Okay,
Well, I like to say I loved him.
Yeah. Where's he now?
Oh, we're actually friends now.
Is it?
Yeah. I went to see him and his missus in their new place, and she's pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently, I really messed him up.
Where?
Well, it was his own fault. He knew he treated me really badly.
you got him back?
I didn't get him back. I just left him. And went on a little whole rampage, and I was like, yeah.
This is year 9?
No, that was so I moved schools. That's one bit I've missed out. Sorry. So basically, I was in Cardiff High for a while. I wasn't getting on with anybody. It was all awful. No matter what I said or did, it was wrong. So say someone would say something, they would be like, and I agreed with something someone said, they'd be like, oh, Peachy said this. And I'd be like, no, I was agreeing with so-and-so. And they'd be like, no, you said it, and blah, blah, blah. And I was just an easy target because I didn't really stand up for myself because I still wanted to play with my Barbies. I didn't understand. And yeah, and it just wasn't going well for me. And yeah, a little bit of a trigger warning, I guess. So it made me very suicidal.
Seriously? You actually tried to, or you just thinking about it? You had to try it?
Yeah, it's a very crap attempt.
What, year 9? What year again?
Year 9.
Seriously? You're kids?
I know. But, like, what I did, so and this is like a horrible thing to admit, but I was a kid, and I got to keep reminding myself of that. I made up an invented sob story so that people would leave me alone and stop picking on me. And I basically, when I was 14, I lied about an essay, but I made it up. It was completely fiction. Like, there was no culprit, there was nobody. It was just at a party somewhere else. So I wanted people to feel sorry for me so that I didn't get picked on anymore. But I didn't know how to articulate that at the time. So I just did it just so that people would like leave me alone because I had a sob story. And yeah, and then people would ring up my house pretending to be liaison officers, speaking to my parents and stuff. And then when they did that, because they were trying to find out, they were like, is it true that this happened? And they were like, what are you talking about? And who is this? Like, and why are you asking questions about my daughter? And obviously I heard all of this and just sort of broke down to my parents, told them the lie that I'd made up. And they were like, why did you? And at the time I didn't know. I just wanted people to give me a break and stop nitpicking everything I said just to find a reason to hate me, because everybody did for some reason. I don't know why. I guess I was just awkward. And yeah, and they convinced me to tell the truth. And that was not a good move.
So from then on you started always telling the truth?
Everyone called me a liar then, and then they would start making up stuff.
So they even bullied you even more?
Yeah. and then if I told the teachers, they called me a grass, and then I was even worse. Like, I had people link arms away from me, and like I'd eat my lunch in the loo by myself.
Like Mean Girls?
It was literally like Mean Girls. It was bad. I remember in maths class.
Wait.
Seriously?
So girls are doing number 2 and you're eating. Hey.
Yeah. And I remember being in maths class, and like the really popular girl was telling the boy, the sort of popular boy, like she was like ordering him around what to do. He was like body spray in my ear and stuff, and the teacher wasn't doing nothing about it. And she was like, why did you do it? Why did you lie? And all this stuff. And I was just like, I don't know. Like, I wasn't even friends with them, but yeah, it was rough.
You need a hug, man.
Hey, I've had tons of therapy, and I've had lots of hugs. I am good. Like, I've had so much therapy, you wouldn't believe.
What was your sister thinking about this whole time then?
So my younger sister, she didn't really know. She had her own stuff going on, but she just beat up her bullies, so she was fine. Whereas I was way too wimpy to do anything like that. I just thought, you should tell the teacher, you should tell your parents, you should try and get help. And so I would beg them not to let me go to school. Like, I would have my head on the mat every day, just begging them not to make me go to school, and I'd have to go because I didn't realise they'd get a fine, obviously.
No, I understand it because I'm the older sibling as well, so I understand. Mum said you don't know all the cousins and stuff like that.
No.
Okay.
No, my older sister's 10 years older.
Okay.
So she was like long gone. Like, she moved out at 17 because her and my dad didn't get on. Like, my dad had weird rules like mummy and daddy time after 8 p.m. So so she had to freaking go upstairs and like vacate the area, and she had to give like 78 hours, or was it 48 hours notice for sleepovers and stuff. So she'd miss out on so much stuff, and they'd argue tremendously about it. And
still.
I don't know.
So when did life get good for you then, Mum?
When did it get good for me? I've got to be honest, I have had really like good points. So obviously I moved schools. It took them 3 attempts. So they had to appeal 3 times. So I just thought we weren't getting the letter, but my parents knew, because like we had a meeting with the school. They were like, it's really bad, because I started to self-harm and stuff, and it was quite obvious.
Whoa, when you self-harm, like, what was you doing? Like,
so I was getting...
slitting the wrist and that?
Not quite. I was just feeling pain. So like, this sounds so bad. I don't want people to get like too upset or whatever, but like I really hated myself, because I just wanted to be anyone except me. Because I felt like I was just in the way. Like my parents preferred my sister. Everyone at school hated me as well, and I just hated my life. And so I would just like, I couldn't do like the slicing because blood freaked me out too much, but I wanted to feel something. So I like would heat up tweezers and like burn myself.
Wasn't there like school cancer?
You might want to count that.
No, because there's kids, there's people going
Are you
through that
sure?
right now. No, keep it 100 in it. Like,
Okay. I'm okay now, I promise.
No, you're definitely okay now because you're on Tipsy Talk, so you're definitely okay.
I am. I promise I'm okay. And there's totally ways out of it. And like,
let's drink some more. Because you passed it now, innit? You passed it now. Now you're living a fabulous life.
Absolutely past it. Don't get me wrong. I get triggers here and there. Like everybody does. You know, stuff never really leaves you. But I'm like, no, it doesn't really, unless, like, I think I've processed it now. I really do. And, like, I think because of all that hate and the way people treated me, like, I was in primary school, I never went over this, but actually, I got sort of blackmailed by a boy all the way through the school. If I didn't do the things he wanted, like, he would go and beat up my younger sister, and he did.
Serious?
Yeah, so if I didn't go out with him or whatever, he would beat her up.
Kids are so cruel, huh?
And like because he was on the child protection register. This is what my mum used to say anyway. I wish I could ask and confirm with her now, but I can't obviously. I mean my dad. But like apparently he was on child protection register, so I don't think the teachers really did much about him because he was a bit of a problem kid because of his own life.
You know where he's now?
No idea where he is now. I know he's gay now.
Okay.
So maybe that was part of it. I don't know.
Never mind.
I mean, whatever. We're all on a journey. We're all doing it. Like, I get it. He was a kid. Like, I'm not going to blame him. Like, it was the adults in charge that should have done better. He was also a minor.
Do you ever think like you should go back to do schools now and do talks or anything like that, or counselling, anything like mentoring?
Do you know? I think what I'm doing now is almost like a bit of a counsellor.
Okay.
As an escort, honestly, because like everybody wants to feel connected. Like you can never underestimate the power of someone feeling heard and seen. You know, because people who are not listened to or continuously ignored, like it can make you feel like you're nothing. So the power of saying, you know, I see you, I hear you, and, you know, you don't have to give them a similar story. You don't have to give them this or that, or you can say, yeah, no, I understand, and, you know, I feel you. That was really hard.
No, I hear that.
And like, because a lot of my sessions are just like basically therapy. Obviously, there's a lot of, you know. Which is great as well. But there's all human connection. It releases great hormones for us. It's all very good for us. The whole thing is shrouded in shame. Even our own personal lives are shrouded in shame. And it's like we shouldn't be. You know, it's healing. Connection with people, skin on skin. We make such a big song and dance about skin on skin when we're babies. We don't stop needing that shit. That stuff.
No. Carry on.
We don't stop needing that just because... we stop being babies. It's like, oh, the power of, you know, skin on skin can bring a baby to life. And it's like, what do you think it does to adults then?
No, because my love language is...
We still got the skin.
No, I believe that because my love language is physical touch. So I believe that, innit?
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, and we're like kind of shamed. And it's like, is it any wonder in this world where we're brought up to feel so disconnected, feel like we need to... you know, buy things to make ourselves better, to feel better. So why are we so surprised that people are putting their buying power into the very things that make them feel human and connected in, you know, sex and intimacy? And most of it is intimacy, I've got to be honest.
Quick question. Who had the sex talk with you?
My mum did. They just kind of handed me a puberty book. You know, hair in funny places and all this jazz. And then in school, they kind of told you about it in biology. I already kind of knew what happened, but that was from mainly finding porn online. I was in that weird stage because I'm 33.
Oh,
so,
okay, 34.
So basically we were in that kind of weird stage where we were logging on to Windows 98 and dialing up and going on steak and cheese, and it's like there's some funny stuff, but there's some porn as well.
But I found out that through, remember Max Power magazines?
No, I think I found the Kama Sutra book. My mum had a Kama Sutra book.
No, I looked from the white kids in school, but Max Power magazine, page 3. That's how I learned, isn't it?
Yeah.
My parents never had a talk. I never had a talk. No one had a talk.
No, and like you're kind of shamed as well. Like this is going to sound weird. I discovered without realizing masturbation when I was about 7 or 8 years old from a pillow. I know. And like, I felt really ashamed at the time, even when I was a kid. But like, it felt nice. There were things there that felt nice. And like, you're not told about your body and that it might feel good and that it's okay to have that time and to feel good. You just got to do it in private, you know, like not in the living room or whatever. Like, nobody had that chat with me. Nobody.
I don't know. 'Cause I'm weird because I don't masturbate, innit? I never did that. I was never had that.
Really?
I've never been that guy that would go. Because I used to play a lot of sports.
You are an exception to the rule, my friend.
That's what when people say everyone masturbates, it's rubbish. I'm telling you, it's rubbish. It's a rubbish. It's an urban myth. It's urban myth. I'm telling you, it's an urban myth. Not everyone masturbates. I swear down. I used to just do a lot of sports, so that's how I used to burn my energy and stuff like that, innit?
Yeah, I mean, there is
and
that.
It's my own hand. I'm not in jail. I can find a girl to do it for me, innit? Like
there is that, but there's also a lot of joy in finding your own pleasure. Like I didn't. I always used to feel a little bit dirty when I do it myself, and like this is the kicker. It almost made you feel like you didn't deserve it. Like, you don't deserve to feel that. That's dirty. Like, that's wrong. It's not. It's really good. It releases very good hormones. You get to know what you like and what you don't, how you want to be touched, how you don't. And also, like, why is it a bad thing to make yourself feel good?
It's not a bad thing, but you girls got cheat codes now because you got the rose thing, you got the hammer now,
I got all of that, but before that, I had my hands. Everybody, everybody does.
It's true, but it's not the same as a man's hand, though, is it?
Well, it's not, but they generally don't know how to use that.
That's
Not on me, anyway.
That's what tell them to talk to the person, isn't it? That's why.
Well, I do a lot, but even sometimes when you're telling them, they're still like curling that finger. I'm like, if you scratch my thing one more time.
The claw.
Like, honestly, if you flick that hood one more time, I'm kicking you out.
Alright, let's speed up now. So basically, like, cool. Went through school and that. First job, what was you doing? What was your first job?
My first job, I worked as a waitress.
Okay.
Yeah, in Pika Pika. It's not open anymore.
Okay.
It was on Westgate Street. And it was an experience. I thought I was being paid like $5.80 an hour. I was actually being paid $3.20 because I was under 18. But they didn't tell me that.
Did you go college or school?
I went to A-level.
Okay.
So I did A-level. I did, this is going to sound weird. So AS level, I did English Lit, Drama and Politics. And then I dropped English Lit and I just did Drama and Politics in the final year because I was getting a bit overwhelmed. Like, basically, once I moved schools, I moved from Cardiff High to Lanarkshire. As soon as that happened, my parents divorced. They decided to get divorced. And it was messy. Like, messy.
Your parents been divorced. Do you believe in marriages then? Like, do you think it can work?
I'm divorced.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, so I did believe in marriage. I absolutely did. I mean, it was a bit of a perfect storm of stupid ideas. But, you know, it coincided with my mum's death. Things like that, you know. He's the one. And, you know, and I was in love. I'm not going to say I wasn't. You know, I was in love with my, you know, daughter's father. But there was a 14-year age gap, and it was a classic power imbalance. Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
So I was 21, and he was 36.
Hey.
I know, and I thought, well, I mean, I'm very charming, ain't I?
Yeah, but I know, but where did you meet him at?
So I met him through work. I worked in a big car insurance company in Wales, and he was an ops manager.
Oh, what are you doing, renewals?
No, sales.
Oh, same. New business, yeah?
No, new business, ancillaries.
Oh, okay.
And and I met him through that, and like I thought it was quite cute the way we met, and but it wasn't actually. It was all shrouded in recreational drug use, which I was going through a phase, but like I think I started to get older and like realized it was a phase for me. But obviously he met me when he was 36. It's not a phase when you're that old. But yeah, so it wasn't what I thought, and like I trusted him a lot, and he didn't use it well.
Sorry to hear.
But I think he's a great dad. Like, I will give him that 100% because I had a really terrible divorce experience with my parents where they were like slagging each other off. and all that. And you like kids don't want to hear that. And like I would be the middleman between the divorce because I was 15. So, and like, it's just not appropriate, is it?
You've been seeing what you went through and your parents went through. Do you think you can get married again?
It's not so much I want to get married again. I just did divorce differently.
Okay then.
Like, we did go to court and stuff, and it ended up costing me a lot more than the wedding did.
That's what I'm scared of marriage. But my parents are still
Cost
together.
me 26 grand.
That's what I'm saying. Like, my parents are still together, so I believe it. But it's just that 26K.
It is, but it's like the problems in the marriage were too big for me to, like, it was making me ill. I kept thinking, when this thing happens, it'll get better. When this thing happens, it'll get better. You know, if it was our sex life, or if it was this, or, you know, he really means it this time when, you know, things... Yeah, I know.
No, that's one thing I would never feel in that department. I know for a fact I won't feel in that department. 100%.
Well,
I know.
That's good, but I think it was the... Oh, I don't know how to say it. Like the disco dust.
Yeah,
you know. It was too much,
yeah.
And like it does affect guys in ways. But I mean,
that's why I'm so happy I don't do that.
There was another thing. I mean, he did say like I just need newness.
What about alcohol? Does that affect it then?
I think it does. Good
or bad?
I don't think it's a good thing. Like binge drinking isn't great. I don't think it's so much of a problem if you just, you know, have one or two here or there, or if you're maybe his drive is just low. I don't know, but. It definitely made me feel like I had a baby and then I was just not wantable anymore. And that's horrible to feel at 28, you know, and my drive was very high. Hence why I ended up in the drama, man.
Let's speed up then. So, obviously, like, so how did you get into, who introduced you to the scene at North? Like,
do you know, a friend was suggested to me once, like, I was just on a walk. Together. I think this was during COVID times, and she was like, "Don't take this the wrong way, but you would make a great high-class escort."
Yes.
And I was like, "Do you know what, babes? You might be onto something." And I was like, I weirdly might have manifested this when I was in my like 20s, because I remember saying, "Yeah, if sex was a job, I'd be great at that." Lo and behold, little did I know. In about 12 years' time. So,
do you remember your first day on the job then?
Oh my God, my first job's quite a funny story.
Take another sip before you say it, then you go on.
Right. So, bit of backstory. I had a best friend of 11 years who we had some quite toxic undertones. I think she was a little bit jealous of who I am as a person or whatever. It doesn't necessarily need to be looks. I think it was because of my confidence, personally. I never saw it until this happened. When I said I was going into sex work, they kicked off, like all the way off, to the point where she was going around ringing my family, telling them I was off the rails.
What's she doing? She needs to get section. What's she doing?
That kind of shit. That stuff.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about the swearing. I just do it, like, not in an offensive way. And like it was bad. And like I was going to go to my first appointment because it was with an agency. Because, you know, I was starting to default on credit card bills. And I was like, I need to do something right now. Like, I don't need, you know, I'm going to build up something. No, I need £150 in my hands.
Oh, you
right
had financial troubles?
I was.
Was your child's father helping you out?
I didn't tell him because we were fighting. Okay. So, basically, my divorce, which I thought would take a year, took 3.5 years. So credit cards that I took out at the beginning to help me to rent, because I didn't have a parent's house to go back to. I didn't have, you know, mummy and daddy to return to rent free. You know, I was paying £800 and 50 in rent by myself. And the money that was coming in from the student house, because when my mum died, I did get inheritance, but instead of pissing it up on the wall on drugs, which I knew I would have done, I put it into property. Most of it, anyway. Some of it was for fun. The honeymoon was good.
Where'd you go?
Thailand.
That's where I'm going. Oh, we'll talk after there. I need some advice.
We'll talk about that. But yeah, anyway, Bangkok, Phuket, and Krabi. It was amazing. I'd probably do Krabi first, then Phuket. You know, party at the end, and then go home hungover. But yeah, and so basically, I put it all in his name. They said I was too young to have a buy-to-let mortgage, so I put it all in his... I trusted him with all of it. Everything. I paid for the wedding, paid for the car, blah, blah, whatever.
You paid for everything?
Yeah.
What did he do?
Well, he had a house, so I lived there, but I paid into it. It wasn't like I wasn't paying. I was almost like a lodger, because we had lodgers. And I was paying into it for the whole 7-year relationship.
Wasn't there red flags from there then?
Well, apparently my family had them, but they just didn't tell me.
Okay.
Yeah. But, when my mum was around and stuff, she was just happy that I wasn't with a complete psycho, which I had been before. I'd had some bad relationships. It's no surprise I had no dad. Okay, let's just call it the classic daddy issues. I just went where, I wasn't wanted because my dad didn't like me. So I was trying to win affections of people who didn't actually like me that much.
Welsh guys.
Yeah.
That's why he's got Team London, man.
I'm a lot better now. I mean, I've been single 5 years and I'm still like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm trying to build my empire.
Okay, I hear that.
But, plus I'm in like an industry now which cuts off, I would say 95% of the population. And they're like, ooh, you're cutting off a lot of people. And I'm like, good. I'm not for everyone. That suits me just fine. Thank you.
So your first day in the job? First client?
My first client. So he was this little Indian guy, right? No, don't, because like he was lovely. He just, I think he had issues. So he didn't really know how to speak to women or anything, bless him. And he kind of just wanted his nipples sucked. And I was kind of like disassociating. And I was just like, this is fine. Like, this is good. This is not what I expected, but this is fine. I've got the money in my bag. I mean, we're good. And like, honestly, because it was so awkward, the first one, the rest of them were doddle. But I had to get taken to it because I'd had this, so I told my one friend, who I'd actually introduced to my best friend, like in the cupboard, because obviously when I came out of the divorce, I wanted to find myself again, reconnect with people I'd lost connection with, and because I'd molded myself to this man, and I'd lost who I was, and I was like, who am I? So American. Who am I? And and like, so basically I told him about it. He seemed fine with it and was like, yeah, we'll get your other bestie on board. Don't want to name anyone. And I knew she was gonna kick off, but the rate she kicked off was just, it was weird. It invoked strong opinions. So I rang up the agency. I was like, have there been any GBHs or fatalities? Because he was like, are you okay? And I was like, I don't know if I can go to this first appointment by myself. He was like, I will take you and you'll see it's fine. And then I'll wait and then I'll take you back after. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, you told your friends, didn't you? I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, I should have told you. You shouldn't have done that. He's like, it invoked some really strong opinion. And he was right. And like, but then I got this kind of slew of abuse off my friends being like, you've got a track record of making decisions and all of this and you're a nightmare and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, guys, like, make no mistake. Because they were like, oh, what about your little one? You know, think about her safety and blah, blah. I was like, make no mistake. The biggest threat to her safety is being around you two. You two can sink a house full of weed, and you're telling me that I'm putting her in danger by doing a job when she's not even there because I only have her 50% of the time. No, I'm not. They're like, oh, what about when it all goes wrong? They weren't listening to anything I was saying. Nothing. They were just like, oh, it's only this much money and blah, 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 blah. And then they started calling me a whore, all these other little slurs. And I was like, if this is how you feel about me, how about we not be friends? If I'm that much of a nightmare, if I'm all this, if you only like me when I'm happy and fun and doing the things you want, and, you know, life does come across stumbling blocks. I may mess up here and there, you know. Unfortunately, I'm not the exception to human design and not making mistakes. If you don't want to pick up the mess, fine. Off you trot. Go away then.
So, the Indian guy, how much was it? Nipple sucking?
For nipple sucking, it was it was £175 for the hour, but 30% of that went to my agency.
That's all right.
It's 120
Well,
quid.
no,
I think that's pretty
for me,
good.
like, not me doing it, but I'm saying for those.
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, doing a couple of appointments, that sorted out, like, a few appointments that I had, it sorted out.
Rent.
No, just the payments being made on my credit card, which I would then spend anyway because that was my spending money. But it meant, because if I was in a default, they wouldn't let me They're like, you're not able to use the card if you haven't made a payment. So I was like, and I was basically up Shit's Creek.
What was the big money one? Thinking, yes, I'm here now.
Well, the big money moment.
Yeah. What's the big money one? Like,
I didn't really have a big money moment until I went freelance.
Okay.
And that was only sort of this summer just gone where I went on tour. And that means like I booked the place. Like I would go dangerously close to my overdraft just to book the place to then try and make the money. My first tour was a flop. I only broke even. And that was in Ascot. And I went with another escort who ended up ghosting me. I have no idea why. I don't know. Maybe we didn't gel and she just didn't want to confront that. And that's fine. But, you know, I'm Welsh. I'm like, just tell me. I won't be offended. Like, just let me know where I stand. Like, I don't understand this ghosting business. Especially with friends. And I think because I'd obviously fallen out with my best mate before because of going into sex work, it was a little bit triggering and I felt a bit sad because on the second tour she just started ignoring me, but she was there in the same city and and posting it on Twitter, and I was like, okay.
To be honest, in your opinion, what's the best city to go on tour?
Honestly,
yeah.
So far the best one I've been to was Cheltenham. Gloucestershire.
Is that because of the horse racing?
Races.
Okay. Yeah,
Money. So I go where there's money, basically. So I went to Oxford. I made an okay amount. Not amazing. It was about 1,300. But when I went to Cheltenham, I made 2,348 hours.
Hey. Have you done...
That's quite a lot.
Have you done any parties before? Adult parties?
No, it's too many men.
Oh,
Too many men. It is, though. Like, it's too many.
Okay. You're a dominatrix then, yeah?
I do, but I came across that personally. So I came across it in escorting. So I got booked by somebody who was quite up in the police who wanted to be dominated.
What, up in the police force? This is why I don't like authority. You cannot tell me what to do, yeah, when you're behind the scenes getting pegged by some woman in some hotel.
He didn't get pegged.
No, but I'm saying in general, that's what they do though, isn't it? That, bro.
You will find with a lot of people in high power, high authority positions, they want to let go. They want to release all that responsibility and they want to be subservient and they want to be in the hands of someone who knows what they're doing with that. You'll find a lot of high power people who actually really like being submissive because they have so many strings and like they can completely surrender all of that in that dynamic. And sometimes that dynamic doesn't have to exist in a sexual relationship. It doesn't even have to be sexual. It can be purely role play, or it can be service, so like subservience. Honestly, it's mad how the mind works.
No, of course, 100%. Do you know what pay pigs are?
I've heard of that. I mean, I've never gotten into, because the pay pig thing seems to be like a fantasy. I don't know where the real ones are, but I get the ones who just want to get their kicks on the phone for like free and like the idea of it. I've never had a real pay pig. I've had fake pay pigs who've like taken up my time on the phone
yes.
when I'm in the middle of, paying to be featured on tour and they're just getting their kicks for free with phone calls. It's a really difficult balance to know when to like cut people off and be like, we can discuss that in the appointment.
Would you say you're a sugar baby?
Yeah, I'm on member seeking.
Okay.
But I'm super fussy with that.
Okay, no.
I've been on there for like a year and a half and I'm yet to find a sugar daddy that want to pay my prices anyway. Well, yeah, if I'm going to spend like a certain amount of time with someone, like especially extended beyond, escorting hours, I need to find them not insufferable. And a lot of the guys on there, they're like, I just want a subservient piece of arm candy. And it's like, all right, you enjoy yourself. Find a student. Like, enjoy yourself. So I'm quite fussy with it.
So what's your fetish then?
My fetish?
Yeah.
It's only come about in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I'm curious.
And I think it's from dating vanilla men.
Vanilla men?
So, because say you'd give someone, like, can I say, because I can't swear and stuff. But...
Coded words.
Okay, coded words. So when a gentleman would splooge in one's mouth... and he would be like, oh, don't kiss me. I don't want to kiss you. And it's like, oh, grow up. Like, it's just a bit of gentleman splooge.
Yeah, but it's his splooge though. So I can understand where he's coming from.
Which is why, if a guy that I like and I'm having a good intimate time with, it's not bukkake, okay, because it's just one person, but I do like it going on my face and then them kissing it off because it's like, yeah, yeah, that's the thing I like now.
Wait, so when it's on your face, you want them to kiss it off your face, and
that is my thing.
That's a fire for you. That's
yeah.
This is Tipsy Talk. We don't kink shame here, innit?
Okay.
So we don't kink shame here.
Cool. Well, that's good because it is a weird one.
No. Listen, everyone's weird. Everyone's crazy.
But I would never want anyone to do it who wasn't into it. Do you get what I mean?
But I'm just saying that. How do you tell the guy though? I just want to know how you have a conversation with the guy. Innit?
Well, normally people are like, "What are you into? What do you love? What do you like?" And I'm like, do you really want to know? This is kind of something I've developed in the last 4 years or so. It was just for, from people like, if I wanted to like snog after giving them a BJ, for a well done, like, it's quite difficult to make a guy do that from just a BJ.
Is there anything that you've done that you won't ever do again?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I got to be honest. People ask me all the time, have I had any bad appointments? And I got to be honest, there's only been 2 in the whole 2.5 years I've been doing this.
What, Indian guys?
No, actually, one of them was.
Yes.
But I got to be honest, I've had some really lovely Indian clients as well. So it is not to tarnish anybody with the same brush whatsoever. I am very open to anybody booking as long as they pass my screening. But yeah, so the one time it was actually a really, really, it wasn't anything he did. It was something he said. So it was this really...
Race.
No,
Okay.
he was this really big, fat, posh guy, white, actually, was the first one. And I was in a popular hotel in Cardiff, and he said, oh, if I had one wish, it would be to have 2 16-year-old virgins. And I was like...
What?
Yeah, because I've got a daughter. Like, that makes me sick, man. Like, I can guarantee they don't want you. Like, and also, like, a virgin, it's going to hurt. It's not going to be nice for them. What is your obsession with filling these
big
women?
As well. Oh.
Yeah, well, his dick. But, not good. So that was the first one where I was like, and, the agency was like, how were they? And I was like, look, there's nothing wrong with them. They were perfectly respectful to me and stuff, but I don't want to see them again. So they're safe for other girls to see, but I don't want to see them again. And the second one, I took a little hiatus from escorting because I tried to date a normie. I tried to date a normal citizen.
Which guy?
Yeah, someone who I worked with in my old day job.
Okay.
And
hold on, did you tell him though what he's doing?
I said I'd give it up for him. So I gave up the escorting, but I was like, but I'm going to do OnlyFans. And that's how I started OnlyFans.
Which is better?
I like both because I get to collab with people now. Before I was just a solo creator. And I wasn't doing very well at that because I don't like watching back my wank videos. I think I look like a tick. I don't like it. I think my gun face is weird. I'm like, ooh. I don't want to look at that. It's like you'd post teasers and I'd be like, oh, won't be doing that again.
Have you ever been to these awards? Yeah, awards?
No,
okay.
I've been invited and stuff to things, but I'm not ready for that yet.
How is it? Who's your favourite person to collab with?
Favourite person? I haven't done that many, but at the moment it is El Monte Cash.
Black guy?
He's a white guy, but and I do love collabing with girls. Because I consider myself a pansexual, so I am attracted to any gender.
Any?
Yeah.
Any.
That includes trans, yes.
Okay.
Doesn't matter what genitals you got. If I think you're a vibe, we going.
Okay.
I don't know about relationship-wise, but I consider myself pansexual sexually. Like, I've not had anything as far as relationship goes with other than a heterosexual male.
Be honest, yeah. Have you experienced or heard any racism in the industry before?
I haven't heard racism in the industry. I've heard... Oh, In escorting, God, yeah.
Is it?
Jesus, yeah.
Saying what?
Not from me.
Yeah.
So a lot of the Eastern European women will not see black men.
Yeah, BBC baby.
They won't do it. Honestly, like I would go back and give my commission to Boss Man. I'm not going to say who it is. And I would have a Corona and I'd be like, tell me your stories from the last 10 years. Like, and he'd tell me all sorts. And like, he was like, oh yeah, no, the Eastern Europeans, they won't, if they're black, they'll be like, no, he's black, I will not see him. And it's like, it's insane. But you've got to remember how close they are to like Russia and stuff. And they're very...
What's the reason why though?
They come from very racist continents.
But as the stereotypes, as the black guys, they got the biggest...
I don't even think it's that. I think it's just pure racism.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because they are from Eastern European countries. They don't see them over there. They're taught to hate them from a young age.
But they like hip-hop music though. I don't understand that. They like the movies and stuff like that.
Not in the Far East though.
I'm pretty sure they've watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air before.
Maybe.
I'm pretty...
Maybe, but like... Honestly, I remember my ex telling me about, because he has a best friend who was Sikh, and they travel the world together and stuff. They had some really great times, good for them. And they went to this one, I think was it bar, was it in Ukraine? Can't remember exactly where he said it was, so don't hold me to it. But they went into a bar, and like my ex, right, he's a shaved head, blue eyes, he looks like the Aryan race, for God's sake. Anyway, and he went there and they were all like doing that in the bar. And then he was like, because they all thought he was one of them. And he turned around, went to find his friends and was like, we need to leave now.
ASAP.
Like now. And like they would experience racism all the time traveling the world with their Sikh friend. Which, if you're brought up multiculturally, you can't really get your head around. In fact, being accused of being a racist, where I was, because I did get accused of it once.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Who?
When I was in primary school.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. When I was in primary school, and like I was like, I am not racist because obviously I'm surrounded.
Michael Jackson's my guy.
Yeah, he is my man. I know he's white now, but I liked him before.
Oh, flip.
But it was almost like it was, that was really bad if you were considered racist in Cardiff. It was. And I think that's a good thing. That's one thing I like about Cardiff. Like, it's quite difficult to find racists in Cardiff. But further out, doesn't take long.
If there's something you could change back in the industry that you did when you first started, what would you change?
Probably just the regulation, the rights, all of that. So... a lot of it it's very much a pick and mix bag and I understand that for clients, they are picking a bag of sometimes vulnerable women. We're not all in there by, choice. Some are there because they've got no other place to be, and they are there because they're either being controlled by their partners, especially abroad ones, things like Romanians coming in and stuff like that. A lot of their partners, a lot of them will be doing it out their own free will. They love it but it can be very conveyor belt. And then, you get some women saying that they're British and they're lying about it. And I know this is really bad, but a lot of the clients, especially the kind of money that I'm going after, they are quite sort of xenophobic and they want British girls. So that is a selling point that I've got, which I hate to say, but it is. And, and like you'll get them treating it like a bit like a conveyor belt. Some people will charge extra for kissing. Some people will charge extra for anything you can think of. And some will literally get you in and make you pay for the hour and get you out of there within 20 minutes. And that's not really... If somebody's paying that much money, you want to have a nice experience, don't you? It's like any consumer experience.
What's your opinions on swinging?
My opinions on swinging, I think it is great as long as everybody is safe and keeping up to date with their sexual health checks and using condoms and stuff. Okay. I think it's brilliant. I honestly think if I had a relationship again, I don't know if it could be monogamous because I feel like we can learn so much from all different people and then you can take it back into your own relationships. And I think it's a bit ridiculous to expect one person to satisfy every single need you have.
But will you be comfortable watching your partner with someone else?
I actually like it.
You actually watching them?
I'm a little bit of a cuck, yes.
Oh, was it voyeur?
Voyeurism, yeah.
Yeah.
But I got to be involved in it. Like I can't I can't just be sat in the corner.
Gollum.
Yeah, no, but some people do like that, and that's called cuckolding.
Yeah.
And that's great for them. But I like it. Say if I'm in a 3-way and I'm like, smasher, and I'm just going to sit here and get myself. I love it. It's an angle you don't get to see often. It's almost being like live in porn. It's great. You do have to be very secure in yourself, and you have to be very not insecure and thinking. And like, when people are like, oh, I don't want someone to steal my man. I'm like, if he's there to be stolen, take him. Take him. Hey. Like, you obviously weren't mine. Like, whatever.
Me, I don't know if I can handle it. Because obviously she might make some noises that she won't make me read, but with another guy.
Yeah, but then she'll teach you how to do it. Like, this is the thing. I was my creative friend, Alice Lovegood. Let's plug her because she's amazing. She's a sex educator.
Alice, come here, man. Your next come.
Alice, you next, babe. You next, please. And I was their first unicorn when they opened up their relationship. And there were good things that they liked about the 3-way that we did. And there were things that were a little bit uncomfortable as well. Like, she didn't mind it when I was praising him, but she didn't like it when he was praising me. And she wanted this cuckold fantasy scene to go ahead, and we did it, and it was a great scene. But she was like, and these feelings came up, and then we discussed them after, and then she learned some fellatio skills that I had learned in my time, because he was apparently going crazy over that. I don't know how PG this needs to be.
You can PG it, man. You can PG it.
Okay, well, there was like a washing machine motion that was going on.
Okay.
With the tongue, and he was going wild for it. Most clients do. I figured this out over the years. And now she's incorporated it into her life with her sex life with a partner now. And that's great. And I helped them figure that out. I helped them learn something and take it away, because I love being a unicorn. I love being the star of the show. And then I love being able to go, okay, bye.
She's like big Mary Poppins then, in the sex scene.
Yeah. Okay. That doesn't mean that I don't want a partner one day. That doesn't mean that I don't want to feel love and be loved again. I don't want to ever not be a target for love. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just very particular, especially since going through a divorce and stuff. But I love human connection and what it can provide, and the experiences that you can draw from people and learn from one another and learn what you like and what you don't like.
I think you're a chocolate guy.
I've had chocolate, man.
I mean, relationship-wise.
Actually, no, not chocolate, so to speak. He was mixed race.
No, so that doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
You're a chocolate guy, man.
No. So, like, one of my boyfriends, before I met my ex-husband, he was, oh my God, he was so beautiful. He was really tall. He was a chef, green eyes, afro. Oh my God.
Don't count. Wow, yeah, carry on.
But he disabled me as a person for a bit. And just because he was just so, when you're so attracted to someone, you can't even be yourself.
Oh, okay.
And you're like, It was kind of a bit like that. And he didn't know how to be with me. And then he ghosted me this one time, and then we got back together. And then he would, like, I don't know, make fun of me in front of his friends, but be really nice on our own. And I'd be like, do you even want me here? Like, what the hell are you doing? I don't understand. Do you like me?
That's what I said. You're the chocolate guy.
Anyway.
So, quick question. So, you've been a worker. What's on your bucket list? Have you tried
everything? Bucket list?
Yeah.
I haven't tried everything, no. So, I haven't done a male-male, female threesome because I don't trust that many.
Oh, 2 guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because I'm also a survivor of not, RAPE, but I've had a couple of essays. And
Essays?
Yeah. So, I got essayed in broad daylight when I was 21.
SA?
Sexual assault. Yeah, so I'm a survivor of that.
And I think that?
Yeah, so I was walking home from work at about 4:30 p.m. on a Friday after having been to the gym. So I was in like leggings and no makeup, a shirt. And these 2 guys stopped me and asked me for the time. 3 guys stopped me and asked me the time. One put his hand by there, the other put his hand right up my bumhole.
Well, corkscrew?
Yeah, through my leggings. So it really hurt.
Oh, wait.
So trigger warning.
Do you know what they look like?
I had no idea. It was over as quick as it happened. And nobody checked on me. It was a busy road. It was Richmond Road. It was in Cardiff. It was very busy. But it was just when do you know what really worried me is it was just when the summer holidays had started. So I think they were like teenage boys.
Okay.
And I was only like 21 at the time. And like, I'd just gotten off the phone with my ex-husband at the time, who I just started seeing. And I told him what happened. He was like, maybe we should report it. And I was like, I don't know. Is it even an assault? But I feel really weird. And like, I'd had a bad tummy all day. So my bum was already sore. And then they did that to me. And I was like, as soon as it was done, it was over. They were gone. In the middle of the day.
Does that trigger you now when people stop you then?
Yeah. So when people stop me, I do get a bit like, I'm like, fuck. Oh my God. And like, it's happened like when I was going home from work, not the essay stuff, but like I've been stopped when I've been going home from work, and that has really messed me up. So when I worked in a bar, this one guy, I don't know if he was like foreign or something. I think he might have been Turkish or something. I don't know, but he wouldn't let me past him. And I was just trying to get home to my car from my shift. And he just wouldn't let me past. And I had my key in my hand and I was just squeezing it like, please don't make me do this.
Slash his neck.
I was ready to, but I managed to. I was acting really like, you know.
Yeah.
But inside I was like, ah! So that had happened. And then another one, which I can't really go into because it's
no,
like a live police case. But
you said enough.
Someone internal in family did something, not, you know, the full, but definitely betrayed my trust. Let's put it that way. And they were one person, one moment, and then the next moment it all changed. And so I think the dominatrix side kind of comes from that, because I think if somebody wants that dynamic, that's amazing, because I'm so used to men trying to overpower me. So it's a really refreshing dynamic to have, to be the opposite. But then I'm also quite caring. Like, I'm an empath. I like looking after people, so I make sure they're okay before, make sure they're okay after.
Then rub their bellies afterwards.
Yeah. Rub their little tum-tums.
Hey.
Or the little butt that I've just made.
So, what you do more now? You do more the sex work or the dominatrix thing? Which one is it?
Both.
Both equally?
Yeah, so sometimes I'll mix up the appointments as well. Like, you get a lot of guys who want to be sort of like crushed, or they want a lot of face sitting.
Smothering.
Yeah.
Oh.
The other day, honestly, I nearly clapped out my hips just from face sitting for like an hour and a half. Oh my God. Like, I was looking like John Wayne.
So what, you just sit there for an hour and a half?
And spanking him, flogging him, and then, riding his face and suffocating him with my...
Are you clothed?
Hmm?
Are you clothed?
No. No. No, he was tied up to the bed and I was doing what I wanted. But, you know, obviously you come up with a safe word and stuff before, and you plan it, and I say, if anything you need me to do during the session, you need to let me know. And like, sometimes they ask to go harder, and I'm like, yeah, but how hard do you want to go? Because some of you don't even realize your own limits. Like, you're like, I really want this maiming, or I really want you to, like, I charge extra for ball busting because they want you to kick them. Yeah.
Kick them and stab them and
They want you to, no, I won't draw blood. That's one thing I won't do.
Okay.
I will not do that. They're like, I want it to split open. I'm like, I can't do that for you. It's not safe.
Before we're going to break, one more question, yeah? It's a bit nasty. Scat play.
What? Scat play?
Yeah.
Do you know, I've had so many inquiries about, we call it hard sports.
Okay then.
Yeah, scat is the fetish. Hard sports is the event and the sort of service you can ask for. Because you get water sports and hard sports. Because you can't say scat. A lot of scat is censored online.
Okay.
So that's why we call it hard sports. And even that can be censored, especially on sex work sites. Like, I can't even say hard sports on adult work.
Oh, is it?
Can't say it, no.
Have you ever...
I do it. I mean, I do it 4 times a day. If you want me to pay me to do it, fine. Give me 700 quid. It's very niche.
Hey! Have you ever caught feelings before? For a client?
What, with a client?
Yeah.
No, I've definitely fancied them.
Okay.
But I've never caught feelings, because I can separate sex and love very differently. And I think, I mean, I used to, not so much, when I was a bit more vulnerable and fresh out of my marriage. But now that I've done a lot of healing work and I'm kind of more aligned with what I want to do and where I want to go, and that, you know, I learned through my sort of civilian relationship that I need somebody to like what I do, not think they'll be okay with it and then be like, I'm not. That's not going to work. I've learned that I need somebody to like it and be like a cheerleader for me. And that does shave off a lot of the population. And that's fine. That's really, really fine. But yeah, I don't... I will never go back to being who I was before.
Listen, as long as you're comfortable and you're not hurting no one,
I'm not hurting anybody. If anything, I think I'm providing a really important service, actually.
And again, I'd rather you do this than do crime.
Well, there's that as well. I mean, does anybody think about, what about, like, because, you know, when I said about my friend who, you know, didn't agree with that, so I ended up telling anybody who was still speaking to me in my family what I was doing, because I didn't know who else she was ringing. I didn't know what kind of warpath she was on. So I ended up telling my dad, and I was like, okay. My butthole was through the floor. I was like, oh my God. And I told him, and he was fine with it because he worked in social work and he used to fight for his residents in the care homes to get 2 escort service visits a year on the council. And they were like, no, we're not going to fund this because it's not an essential service. And it's like, you're saying it's like intimacy isn't an essential human right. That's so ableist of you to say. They are never leaving this establishment. And you're telling them that they don't, that's not a necessity. When you can go out, you can go home to your wife, you can go out on the lash, you can do whatever and get the intimacy needs that you want met. He was like, so he used to fight for that. And he was like, don't be wrong, I don't want to know. As long as you're happy and you're safe, I'm fine with it. But I used to fight for that, so.
Don't take this the wrong way, but now you're in a business of sex where you put a price on your vagina. Can you still have intimacy for free then? If something like that? I
could, but the thing is, I get tested so heavily. I'm tested every 28 days. Like, I don't know where people have been. If they don't want to use a condom, then absolutely not. Like, it's my livelihood.
I hear that.
No, like, it doesn't mean that I wouldn't do it, but like most people that you want to have a connection with, they need to get tested to the 9s to be with me. So generally, no, I don't have intimacy outside of work. I've tried it, and it didn't really work. Like, you know, people are too insecure and they need all to go to therapy. Like, I need a very different relationship setup now, and that's okay. Like, that's fine. I'm quite happy on my own with my cats and my bunnies.
Oh, you're a cat lady?
I'm a cat lady.
How many cats?
2. I'd have more if I had more money. Me and Taylor Swift would get on so well.
We're going to have a quick break right now. Social media, where can people find you at?
I am on Instagram at Peachdom 369.2, and it is because of the song.
I was going to say because of Stone Cold Steve Austin, but yeah.
No, it's because of 369. Damn, she fine. Let me suck it to you one more time. and on X, I want to say Twitter, but I can't.
I still say Twitter.
I mean,
I tried to find, but it wasn't working.
So annoying, innit? And I'm at Peachdom_2 on there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
OnlyFans, we can give that out.
That's just at Peachdom.
Mobile numbers for people to call up. They want to book you to that.
You can go on my adult work. /Peachdom. I'm on there. My number's there. I pay for it to be there.
Tipsy Talk, Wavy Wednesday, champagne and conversation, bent before bed. Here we go. Cheers.
Oh, I like the little G's at the end.
S Cool on the beat.
You're listening to DJ Abstract.
Vodka, cognac, cherry and ginger. Ooh. Oh, sorry.
Yo, what's going on, people? We're back right now. Yeah, Tipsy Talk, Wavy Wednesday, champagne and conversation, bantam before bed. Host Drunk J. Tipsy right now. This peach girl's just warm me out with all this alcohol talk.
In the best possible way, though.
And cool, so we're getting some education session regarding the whole sex industry. I just want to know, what's your opinion on the pros and cons of your industry of work?
The pros and cons. Okay, so the stigma is definitely the worst part about it. I've got to be honest. If it was more accepted and seen as a respectable form of work, obviously anyone would be happier seeing it when they're seen as, you know, an essential service. And we are in lots of ways. Like, why is it, if intimacy is so important and, you know, for humans to live, to have connection, why is it such a shamed industry?
Me, for example, like, I'm thinking myself as a kid in that role. What did your mom and dad do for a living in it?
Yeah.
I will find it hard to say my mom's a porn star, innit?
Well, it would be difficult. It absolutely would. And like, I have had that question, especially in like my TikTok videos and stuff. Like, you know, what are you going to tell your kid? And I'm like, well, you know, aren't you going to be embarrassed? Aren't you going to be, you know? And it's like, well, I'm going to try and bring my child up to not be part of the problem, which is shaming sex workers and shaming sex and sexual pleasure. Like, why is it so bad? Why is it so wrong? Like, said who? Strip it back. Like, ask yourself, why is it bad? Why is it wrong? Who said that? Oh, I don't know, it's just dirty. That's not an answer. That's not an answer. That's an opinion.
Again, with it's recession proof. So it's began from early days, caveman days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even
like why does everybody think, like, what was that study? Like, I'm sure Taylor, the girl who does the SX education, the SXC creators, she does like a course for spicy content creators. It looks really, really good. I've never been able to afford it myself, but she does, and she said there was a study like with chimpanzees where they gave them currency and it was like grapes, and the first thing that they did was pay for sex. So It's like the oldest profession in the world, the most shamed, and it's because it's predominantly run by women. Like they're the ones who hold the cards.
Yeah, you're in control. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're in control,
and obviously, society doesn't like that. They read these books, they get these ideas, and you've got to think about it. Like, I know, people will be like, oh, feminazi, blah, 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 blah. We are in a patriarchal society, and that whole society that holds up men to be better than women, or like be, to service men above women and to make them better than women, it disservices men in the same aspect. You can't have too much feminine, you can't have too much masculine. You need both.
Are you feminist?
Well, yeah, because I believe in equal rights.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that I don't. It doesn't mean that I don't believe that we all have a masculine and we all have a feminine, and we both need both. So they push. The patriarchy is like designed to sort of make men think. Talking about your feelings, having that's gay, or that's this, or that's that, and it's like, if you weren't meant to cry, we wouldn't have tear ducts, babes. Like, we're releasing you need to feel emotions and release them in order for them to dissipate. The more you ignore them, the bigger they're going to get. And that's why there's such a high suicide rate for men. Then they're taught to man up and to suck it up. And it's like, no, you need to talk about your problems. You need to cry sometimes.
Yeah, but can you look at the guy the same way if you start crying in front of you? Because I said this to a girl, like, I don't think you would look at me the same way if I start crying in front of you.
I mean, I, as a woman, struggle to cry.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different. Whereas everyone thinks women takes it. Not when you've had to survive and like basically rely on yourself only, and you haven't had time to cry. So we're all meant to do it, and it all disservices us in a massive way if we don't. You're supposed to, but you're supposed to also feel safe when you're vulnerable, and society doesn't really want you to do that, because if you feel safe and collected in yourself, then you won't want to buy more to make yourself feel more wanted and loved and accepted and blah, blah, blah.
How's your gaydar?
My gaydar is shit.
Is
so,
it?
I mean, it's rubbish. My gaydar is not on.
Okay, then. So, the guys that you've pegged, yeah, will you class them as gay then?
I've only ever pegged like one or two guys.
Will you class them as gay?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm not a man.
No, they're gay.
No, because you're doing a sexual intimate act with somebody who you're attracted to and like. That if it was a man doing it to them, obviously they'd be like, ugh. Yeah, but because I'm a girl, like there's a G spot in the bum for a boy.
I don't believe that nonsense there, man. That's the rainbow people made that nonsense up, man.
Come here, babe. No, I'm joking.
Prostate exam, yeah. 2 or 3 fingers.
Pass me the lube. No, I'm joking.
I don't believe that nonsense there, though, man.
I know, but like just because you don't believe something or you don't understand it doesn't mean it's not true.
That's true. It's like God. I don't see God, but I believe there's a God.
I don't see God, but I also believe tons of religions are just a bunch of Chinese whispers which all relate back to spirituality.
Big facts. I believe that.
And I don't want to disrespect any of them, but I think all of them have been hijacked to control and lead and put people, and basically have power-hungry people. Like, who would, like, power-hungry people are going to go into those positions, aren't they? Mm-hmm. They're going to use whatever people are going to follow them and what they want. So it gets hijacked a lot. But a lot of religion, there's a lot of really beautiful stuff in religion, I think. But I don't conform to any one because, and I don't say I'm an atheist, because I do believe there is something. I absolutely do believe there is stuff that we don't understand, that we can't see.
What's better, high sex or drunk sex?
High sex.
100%. Okay.
Yeah, no, drunk sex you don't remember.
Has anyone offered to flow you out yet?
Has what?
Has anyone offered to flew you out?
To flew me out? Oh, my sugar daddy. My big sugar daddy flew me out. No, I would love to, though. But the thing is, I'd also need to trust them because I'd be, I'm the dom at the end of the day. You don't get many sugar daddy subs.
Some Dubai guy might say, yeah, we'll fly out for this.
Oh, yeah, and the Dubai guys might want you to poo on their chest as well. I ain't doing that for 70k. You can get lost before you get any ideas.
You don't do it? Mm-mm. You don't do it, don't lie. If you saw the money right in front of you in a freaking suitcase, you do it.
If they wanted to poop on me, absolutely not.
What's your price?
Like
100 bags?
No.
100k?
You ain't pooping on me.
100k for 1 minute?
Nope.
You won't do it?
Mm-mm. You ain't pooping on me, you bastard. Especially from
no.
Dubai, where, you know, they throw women in jail for having sex outside of wedlock if they get raped. Nah, you can piss off, mate. Go back to your Bugatti and chill out.
They're flying you out business class,
I don't give a shit.
5-star hotel,
You ain't shitting on me.
1 minute of scat play for 100k. Right there. Tax free. You're not taking it. I don't believe that.
I'm not.
I'm saying Peach, I don't believe that.
I know you can say what you want, but honestly,
Everyone's got a price. 100k. I'll probably do it. Actually, I would do it. I'm not gonna lie.
do you know what? I will give them your name if they ask me.
So who's gonna know? Who's gonna know? No, who's gonna know? Who would know?
I don't care. I'm not having a man poop on me.
I didn't say where. It could be just in your stomach or anything.
Apparently, it goes in girls' mouths.
Oh, no,
I ain't doing
Mouth
that.
is different.
I ain't doing that. No, but apparently that's what happens.
But what was that an ego trip? I don't understand it though. Why?
Scapular, I mean, it's a fetish like and kink like anything else. And a lot of guys want to do it as a way to say, and some people, I say guys, that's not true. People sometimes like the control part of it, and that's the thing I don't like. People who are using it to abuse. Oh, golden shower, I've done loads. I quite enjoy being peed on.
You being peed on?
Yeah, I did it for the first time not that long ago, and I was like, oh, it's actually quite warm and nice. Don't do it in my mouth though, but
Was it in the shower or just on the bed?
in the shower.
Oh, okay though. I'm curious, isn't it?
God, in the shower.
I'm just curious, isn't it?
I'm not some sort of animal. Oh God, no. So I did it. I do it for clients. I'm like, if you want me to wean you, I will. Go for it. And like, I've done it on various different people, including like this guy who was like quite high up or whatever.
High up in what says politician or what?
He was quite a high worker, from Israel.
Hey.
Not anyone in government before anyone gets ideas,
yeah,
but but like, and I was like, what made you want to be peed on? And like, when have you wanted to be dominated by women? And I was like, is it the Israeli women soldiers? Is that what got you into it? Because I don't know if you've seen them, but damn, they hot.
Is it?
Oh yeah, and they're fierce. Like, I'd probably let them dom me, to be fair.
Okay, we'll have some. What's your opinions on the whole LGBT community?
LGBTQ plus community?
Yeah.
I mean, I love them all because I am part of it, being a pansexual. I've always felt like I didn't really belong because I haven't had relationships with people of the opposite gender or who are, trans. But that doesn't mean that I don't know that I'm not attracted to them. I know I would be, and I have had sex with women and very much enjoyed it, and I will do it again. I've
got issue with them a little bit.
What's your issue?
Okay, there's an event that I like watching, which I like to pervert. It's called Miss Universe.
Okay.
So it's with all the best females in all the countries in the right of the world, isn't it? Me being a black man, I'm probably going to go to certain countries I won't go to, innit?
Yeah.
I won't go. So, but at least I can see the nice, beautiful women from that country, isn't it?
Well, consent is key in everything.
Big facts. But there's 2 countries now, yeah? They've got 2 trans women representing them, innit? So you mean to tell me in those 2 countries, yeah, the best female in that country is a trans person? I've got a problem with that because that's Holland and Portugal.
Yeah.
I've been to Red Light District before. There's some nice black girls or some nice Caucasian girls in that country, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you can't tell me the trans woman is number 1 in that country, innit?
Well, I mean, these pageants and these organisations, like, who is to say who's the best?
Big fact.
Like, you know, desire and lust and love and everything is subjective. If we were all attracted to the same thing, like, what a friggin' boring world we would be in. Jesus. I mean, do you remember that dance song? If everybody looked the same, we'd get tired of looking at each other. And it's true, you know, and like, let them have their spotlight for now. Let them have their, you know, they've been a very repressed, a very marginalized member of society. And if they are feeling seen and they are being celebrated, great. But that, you know, that doesn't take away from normal, well, that sounds terrible.
But I'm saying, well, you have to be...
Not cis women, not born female. Do you get what I mean?
But you have to be in everything, though. Like, why does every TV show have to have a trans person in it?
Yeah.
Why? I'm asking, why does everybody have that
Probably because they're the most likely people to get murdered. They're the most likely to have a life expectancy of about 40. They're most likely to die of a hate crime. They are imagine living in a body that you know was not made for you. Imagine the prison cell you're living in.
But I can say the same.
Imagine Freaky Friday.
But cool. But it's like saying, imagine being a colour that you don't really want to be, but you have to still stuff out with that colour though.
Yeah.
Same as that thing though.
It's marginalised and it's stigmatised and it's people who are ostracised. I mean, I don't know why we humans. I don't know why we do it. I should probably look into it. I don't know why, because I don't see it. Like, I love people. I think everybody has something to offer. It doesn't matter what your skin colour is. It doesn't matter what genitalia you got. And I honestly think that, you know, escorting has actually helped me with loads of things. 'Cause people are like, ooh, how can you sleep with a person if you don't fancy them, if you don't love them? It's like, once you get in there and you start connecting with them on a level, as long as we've all got skin, as long as everybody's hygienic. Like, I've made customers go in the shower. I've been like, come on then, in the shower you get. I know you're on a 3-day bender and you've just ordered me, but get in the shower. Come on, clean teeth.
Again, my theory is there's 2 things that can never stop.
Like we're all human.
That could start world peace and stop racism. The only 2 things in the world.
Yeah.
Music and sex.
Exactly.
Those are the 2 things that could stop.
And I really think that's true. Like, music makes you feel things. Escorting, sex and intimacy makes you feel things in a big way. Like, I've had people move to tears in some of my sessions.
I think intercourse should be a part of the Olympics as well.
Honestly, it probably should, because some people are goddamn stallions. I'm telling you that now.
The black guys, baby.
And like, I've had some really hot clients as well. I've been like, oh my god.
Yeah, you ever think like why are you doing this? You ever think like, well, why are you doing this? Like, you can get
No. There's a definite reason. Because, you know, and especially with, like, some people love to blur the lines, don't get me wrong. They do. And they're like, oh, I want to see outside of this. It's like, do you do this with your barber? Like, can you not? Like, can you respect my time and not think that I want to be with you and I want to... Like, I don't. Like, if I spoke to every one of my clients the way I speak to you right now, the way you're trying to speak to me, do you think I'd have any time in the world? Ever? Like, this is a service. Like, you don't ask to spend all your time with, you know, whoever's fixed your kitchen and be like, oh, should we go out for dinner after this? No! I'm going home to my wife and kids, mate. Like, do you know what I mean? They're like, do you want to be friends though? And it's like, well, I barely see the friends I have. Like, I am self-employed.
So,
self-employed.
What's about the bodybuilding? Because I don't know why you look like She-Hulk. It don't make sense.
I don't know what you mean.
That's intimidating.
I don't even look that ripped,
That's
actually.
intimidating.
This is perfect.
It's intimidating.
Do you know what? My back's better. Let's look at my back. Hold on.
Okay, let the camera see the back then.
Hold on.
Look at She-Hulk. Look at that. Like, guys are going to be terrified of taking
Hold
you
on,
out.
I'm a bit pale. Can you see the bumper yet?
We can see it, yes.
It's like a walnut, isn't it?
It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger 1993.
Yeah, but it's not. Oh shit! Oh no!
No, you're good. Come back to speak close to put him next to the
Bring
mic.
me to life. Anyway, have I messed it up?
Oh, no, yeah, you're good. But I don't know,
I'm
why,
sorry.
why bodybuilder? Like, why?
Why bodybuilding? Because I woke up one day and I wanted to stop hating myself. I have always had body dysmorphia. It came from my dad. He didn't really get on with me growing up as a teenager. He didn't like me putting on makeup. He would shout at me every day that I had body dysmorphia. And then I eventually got it. Thanks to that. And what I saw in the mirror wasn't what other people saw. And I just got to a point in my life where I was like, I don't want to look in the mirror and be nitpicking the smallest things and, like, you know, you eating food, then feeling guilty, punishing myself with exercise and just wearing myself. It wasn't a healthy relationship, because when people were like, oh, you don't need to do bodybuilding, you don't need to be doing that. I was like, you know, you were small before. It's like, small doesn't mean healthy. My mind was not healthy. I was not in a good place. And I literally was repulsed when I looked in the mirror. I hated it. I hated it.
Do your clients ever actually like put them in the head dock and stuff like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. And I quite enjoy doing that because I got strong ties.
Seriously?
Yeah, like guys love a head crush. Oh my God, yeah. And they love a face sit and like, but I've been told I've done the best face sitting sessions ever.
What?
Because I don't lose eye contact. And then I pull their head backs and make them say, "Thank you, mistress," as soon as I let them breathe.
I just want to, in Dominatrix, is there like a code of conduct? Like an ethical code?
Yeah, no, you have to do things safely. So you can't be, say that there was this one thing going around recently, which was brought up by Ruby Rose, actually, who does her own podcast with Lowry. And she highlighted a video that I hadn't seen that was circulating. And it was, they were setting a sub on fire and making them jump into a pool. And they were like, "Oh, it's fine, it's fake fire." It's like, there's nothing fake looking about that. And then somebody put in the comments, you know, the client, I don't even know if they paid for this. I have no idea. But whatever it was, whatever dynamic that was, it was not okay. Because he looked burnt. Like his skin looked burnt. And like, no matter what you're doing, like you have a duty of care. This is not a ticket to abuse people, being a dom. And it really annoys me when I see that happening. You cannot claim yourself as part of the dom community if you are literally abusing people. Because some people don't even know their own limits. That's why I'm very slow with building up to, you know, impact play. You've got to warm up the areas first, do a little bit of flogging, like soft flogging first, and then moving up to the more. And that's why I have to have the safe words as well.
I'm not going to lie to you, you officially got me tipsy right now. As you know, this show's called Tipsy Talk.
It is Tipsy Talk.
So basically, we need a drunk story from you. If you've got a drunk story, we need a high story from you.
A drunk story.
Big facts.
Oh my God. I don't really drink anymore. We'll go back to the old days.
Yes.
Let's go back to the...
Yes.
Can it be a drink with a slight bit of ecstasy?
Even better. 100%, man. That's what I'm
Okay.
trying next again.
Oh, jeez. Okay, you're in for one then. Strap in, boys. Strap in.
Buckle up.
So we went to go see Bruno. We went to go see Bruno in the cinema. Me and my bar mates when I was about 19. So I was young, getting into the shit. And so I got in. So we decided to go and see Bruno on like a Tuesday, obviously, because we were bar people and that's the night we had off. And we decided to take a couple of bottles of vino in with us and pop like half a pill each. And then we ended up popping the whole pill when we were in there. And like, apparently, all I remember about the film was a penis talking at me. And that was it, because I kind of blacked out from that movie. But yeah, apparently we were just talking really, really, really loud. And then we left and we went to this rock bar called Barfly, which had a 90s night on a Tuesday.
Here we go.
Yeah, so me and my mate, me and my two other mates, we went in there and we were like, yeah, rocking out to Cut My Life Into Pieces. This is my last resort. Like having like a right old headbanging time. And I ended up pulling a girl. My first girl experience was in Barfly at 19 in a straight bar. And yeah, so then we were like sort of obviously vibing over Limp Bizkit.
Rolling.
Yeah.
Moving the moves up, hands up and hands
Yes, and
down,
she was like
back
your
up.
your typical emo girl. She was like a little bit ginge, a little bit of an emo fringe, bit of eyeliner. She was small, so obviously, you know, and I'm a bit of a giver in the whole woman situation, so I'm the one doing the things. And
bottom?
no, I'm the top.
Oh, you're top? Okay.
Yeah, so I've always been a dom. I didn't know it at this point. And then we went into the bathroom and we did things and we nearly got kicked out.
Oh, you're cool.
Yeah, so I had full on naked sex in a toilet. And like I was absolutely off my face as well, so I don't even know how I did this. And like it was quite funny because at one point I like kind of fell down the stairs and slid through a group of people, but kind of managed to turn myself all the way around. And they were like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm okay." I got up and started carrying on partying again. I really hurt myself. It's such a big bruise. Anyway, and then, so yeah, I nearly got kicked out for having sex with a girl in a straight bar. And she was like, "Oh, have this necklace to remember me." And I sort of had my pants in my pocket after getting dressed really quickly, like, we're just having a chat. And then, and then my mate was outside speaking to this guy and he had this hat on and she was off her face and she was like, mate, you remind me of Craig David. And he was like, no, I don't. She was like, you do, mate. You remind me of Craig David so much. And he just started getting pissed off with it because she kept repeating it because obviously we were off her face. And he went down these stairs and he kind of slipped and he fell. And she was like, with her fag, can I get a rewind? This story gave us many laughs for many years, and then they were like, "And where did you end up, Peachy? Where did you end up?" And I was like, "Oh, I went to Live Lounge with Belinda, and I gave her the necklace the girl gave me." I was just like, went into the loo, and she was like, "What have you been doing?" I was like, "I had sex with a girl." And she was like, "What? Like, this is the necklace she gave me. Do you want it? I don't want to be emotionally connected." So yeah, and that was my first experience of a girl.
So the podcast.
So the podcast is called Desexmatize, and it is a play on words deliberately because we keep getting deplatformed. I did want to call it the Sex Work, as in WEAERK collective, to feel like, a community. Mm-hmm. But because it had the word sex in it, it was obviously deplatformed in under 48 hours. So yeah, that didn't really work. So all the emails and stuff I set up, I've had to redo again. So we called it, and it was actually my best mate who inspired me. She was like, I think this is a really good opportunity for you to have a fun play on words with this. Mm-hmm. Why don't you call it, instead of call it desexmatize, because I use SEGGS as a term for sex anyway in lots of videos to go on meta platforms, because we are really, we're very censored. Mm-hmm. But, it's such an integral part of being a human, and yet it's so apparently, not allowed.
So what makes your podcast stand up from everyone else's then? So
the thing that makes mine different, I think, is it's all areas of sex work that I want to destigmatize, because I think you do get a lot of intersectional sort of separatism that comes with it, like cam girls, we're not getting naked, we're not doing escort. And it's like, yeah, but there's nothing wrong with the ones who do. Mm-hmm. Like, let's not shame others just because you're still doing sex work, hun.
Big facts.
Let's not push others down. Okay, there's nothing wrong with saying, oh, but we don't do that. If you're not comfortable doing that, you don't have to do it. But there's nothing wrong with the service providers who do, by the way.
So what kind of guests do you have on your show then?
So I had Alice was my first guest, Alice Lovegood, who's the Better Essex blog. And she was amazing. And that was before she really blew up. She blew up within a month. She went from earning 3K to 20K in a week. 3K a month to 20K per week. But she's a sex educator and she's proper, informative, and she does her comedy mixed with. And anyway, so she was the first one. And then I had Dimitri, who is a professional dom, and he is a beautiful chocolate man.
So do you guys play with these people afterwards?
So I did do a collab with, with Dimitri that day. I did do a collab with Alice as well, because I thought that would be more true to, if we're connecting and we're making that effort to see each other, we are going to do a collab as well, because this is our bread and butter, and that is how we make our money. And Peaches, who is, it sounds really similar, Peaches, aka Gucci Pie. He is a bi creator, a true bisexual. He likes men and women.
Are you co-host?
And we co-host together.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
He's a far bigger creator than me.
So he gets involved with the play as well afterwards?
So we had a collab as well, yeah. I actually met Peaches on a dating app called Field.
Whoa, confused that.
Yeah, that's how I got into collabing, because I was a solo creator, because sex work was my individual thing that was just for me. And then I realised that the big money was in collabing. But that also meant trusting other people, which I don't like doing because I'm a
you and your co-hosts have fun with your guests on the show?
No, not both together. Not always. We would do, but we arrange collabs as and when we see fit. If there was going to be, say for example, Ink Divey, who is one of my friends, we're going to do a collab soon, but we mainly do escorting tours together. But she wanted to, she had anxiety and stuff. She wanted me to help her with it, and she wanted to, because when I went freelance, I did it by myself to begin. Well, I say by myself. I kind of did it involuntary by myself by getting ghosted by one of my friends, but whatever. But I realized I could do it by myself, and she wanted someone to sort of help her, give her the confidence, and to be there for a safety net as well. And yeah, like if we were going to do a podcast, then all three of us would probably do a collab as well. It doesn't mean all of you have to collab each time, but and me and Peaches, we promoted our collab through the podcast as well, because it's all sort of interlinked, the sex work. But I want every bit of sex work to be represented. So I want to have OnlyFans people to hear their story, why they got into it, how they got into it, what their pros are, what their cons are, a bit like what you're asking me. And we like to have a kink focus each episode as well. So it was actually Dimitri who taught us all about impact play and the kind of stuff that he offers and what, they do to sort of, help clients. And if there's any sort of limits that they have, like I can take you so far, but then you will need to go and find somebody else perhaps who can do the rest or who'd be willing to do the rest. But these are my limits, because at the end of the day, it's your body, your service, it's your rules.
Big facts.
So when, it is, I think some people do get that a bit confused. Some consumers, not many. Most of them are lovely and very respectful. And they just want you to have just as good a time as them.
So how do you guys choose the guest then?
The guests. So I wanted to have, we had Alice first, who was lovely and sex educator and also a mum. And she has her own kink as well, which, you can go check out the podcast and find out. I'm not going to give everything away here. Yeah. And then Dimitri, who's a dom and also in the sex industry and got into porn. We're all porn creators, basically. And then I want to get Ink Divey on as well, because I think, one, she deserves a spotlight. She's such a gorgeous person. And she's a photographer as well. She has her reasons for getting into the industry. We all have a story. But you know what I really like whenever we did these podcasts, because we do a podcast, me and Peaches, a guest, me and Peaches, a guest, me and Peaches. So we're going to do our last one now with a guest. Okay. And then we're going to release them all bi-weekly, see how it's received, and then, see about a second series.
Keep going. You keep going, especially if you're doing the thing afterwards as well.
Yeah, but I want something from every, because you had the Olivia Atwood's documentary, which I felt was the most realistic, because she focused on the pros and the cons of the industry with each sex work industry. So she focused on the camming, like the escorting, the OnlyFans was obviously a big one, and then you also have the sugaring, because sugar babies, that is sex work. As much as, some of the sugar daddies don't like to admit it's sex work, they're like, no escorts, please. And it's like, what do you think? Who do you think started this? Like, come on. Because I experienced a bit of stigma with that when I went to meet a sugar baby and her sugar daddy. The sugar daddy didn't like that I was an escort and wouldn't go through, just paid me the fuel and told me to be on my way, basically. Because he was like, nothing against it or anything. I would never do that. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, that's fine. I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. And obviously I don't want to do this now that you've said that. But
cured the mood.
Like, you're saying no judgment, but that clearly is judgment. You think I'm somehow spoiled goods because I make people pay for it. If anything, I'm the least spoiled of the lot because I have to get tested every 28 days.
Okay, I hear that.
But good luck getting your no condom sex from people who haven't had a test in about 6 months.
I just know. So, why do you feel like you're successful at this? Why do you feel like you're successful at this, Dom?
Successful at this?
Yeah. Why do you feel like you're successful at it? Because it seems like you're doing the right thing for yourself, especially from your story.
Well, I'm in a lot of debt, so don't get me wrong, and I've just had bailiffs take 589 quid off me, so I'm a little bit on my arse at the moment. I'm not going to lie, but I feel like the message that I want to give out, like when I actually put my back into my social media, which I haven't been doing, because I like the connection side of it with escorting, but it doesn't always come through. Men are fickle; they want to do it on the day, and some people don't want to pay a deposit because they're like, I've been scammed. And it's like, well, the common denominator in that, babe, is you. Like, It's not my fault you're putting your hand in the pick and mix bag, looking for the cheapest one and then getting scammed. And then being like, I've been scammed before. And it's like, yeah, that's because you've been paying less.
Once picking a guy, can you still look at him as an alpha male?
Once what?
Once you pick the guy, can you still look at him as an alpha male?
Alpha male is a ridiculous
You don't believe
concept.
That? You don't believe that? There's
No.
A guy that could be a leader and stuff like that. There's an ultra guy.
It's not so much that a guy can be a leader. It's just the whole alpha male concept is it's just extremely elitist. Like, we're supposed to be connective people. Like, we are not mammals. We are humans. We have far more, and like, even when we're in that kind of thing, like, we're in a pact. So you're trying to tell all your mates you're better than all of them. Like, what are you trying to say to your friends? You're all pieces of crap who need to follow me.
In a relationship, what's more important for you, sex or money?
A sex, 100%. I can make my own money.
Is it?
Yeah.
I hear that.
Absolutely not a thing. Like, money is a tool. Sex is a language.
Okay.
And not everyone's going to speak the same language as you. And not everyone's going to be for everyone.
What's your advice to guys that come fast?
It's mainly the older ones who come fast. I had one guy who came in his towel before he even touched me.
Oh!
I know, poor guy. I felt really bad for him though. And like, I don't like shaming people because, like, you know, we all want to feel the same things and not all of us work the same way. But then people forget intimacy starts with conversation.
Big facts.
It starts with conversation. It starts with, I mean, even just touching your skin, kissing, little other things, like connecting over something that you both enjoy or liking something that other person says, asking them probing questions about something that they're interested in, seeing people's reaction. It's all a big connective experience. And when you dig into anything, and that's something I found in the podcast as well, is when we asked our guests, you know, what is it that you love about the industry? And it's the people. You know, because you do get, you know, especially with big production porn, you know, you guys get a little bit of stage fright or like, and the girls are like, and that's what, you know, one of my guests, Dimitri, said, he was like, it was the people, you know, they're like, what do you need us to do? How can we help you to help us finish this scene? Like, how can we make you feel okay to do this? And it's the connection. It's the people supporting one another. It always comes back to that. And that's kind of what I like about it.
Would you ever do a fake taxi?
Fake taxi?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I've done some production porn. Nothing, but it feels really weird.
Is it? I prefer amateur.
Like, honestly, when I look for porn, as also a porn consumer, which is very difficult to find anything I like, especially for free, so you need to pay for it if you want the stuff you want. But yeah, I can't. Like, the sounds are too much, and like, it's all, you know, it's staged, and it is. A lot of it is staged. So when people are like, oh, I wouldn't pay for that, or I wouldn't, it's like, yeah, but you get a conversation, you can order things exactly that you want, and you can get them to say your name, and you can actually have an intimate experience. Just because money's exchanged, like, who said that was wrong? Like, who made that rule?
What bukkake?
Bukkake, if you want to do that, good for you. It is not for me.
Okay, I was curious, and that's fine.
No, bukkake is too many men's. To be honest, when there's too many men in a room, I wouldn't feel safe anyway, just because of my personal lived experience.
Personally, I think that's a bit gay for me, personally.
I mean, I can see why a lot of guys would think that.
Yeah.
And like, but if everybody's like into it, I mean, each their own. Like, who are we to say? If everybody's of legal age and consenting to the act, then literally, what is the problem? Like, let people do what they want to do. You don't need.
That's not wild to you.
If she wants to do it, great. If she doesn't want to do it, absolutely not. That's horrendous.
30 guys and me, I'm waiting to number 17, where it's all just splashed up. No, it's a myth. Come on now.
Hold on. If it's somebody who's 17, how? No. No.
Yeah, because I was like...
Oh, God, we'd need to unpack her trauma, man.
You mean? I'm insecure. I can't do it. Like, I know I'm damaged, but I'm not done.
No. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with admitting you're insecure. That's most of us are born with insecurities. We're brought up in a society that makes us feel disconnected and feels like we need to buy things to feel included and feel like we're good enough.
Don't get me wrong, I've been to one of them parties before though. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. But, you know, we're not always taught how to regulate our emotions and stuff from in our formative years. Most people's kinks are formed in their formative years. That's what I found. Sorry, I keep going away from that.
No, because I'm thinking like how I was taught. I was taught how a woman's supposed to reflect who you are as a guy, isn't it? So if this girl's got a reputation, but you're there walking all arms and arms, she's like, raw.
Well, the thing is,
You know what I'm saying?
you kind of have to go off your own lived experience. Like, we're all here to make mistakes, to learn. We're all here to experience things in life that feel good to us. Why does it matter who a woman has been with before you? Like, she didn't even know you then.
No, and cool, I hear that. But me, again, I'm a hip hop fan, innit?
Yeah.
And one of Tupac's famous lines is,
Yeah.
that's why you fat mother. You know what I'm saying? It. And if a guy has intercourse with my female,
Yeah.
he can destroy me the whole time because he can say, yeah, you did this to me, but I had sex with a girl. And I can't, what can I do afterwards? I can't say nothing after that.
Yeah, but she's with me, bro.
But
She don't want you.
Yeah.
Your
But every time you kiss
dick.
her-
Your dick was shit.
But every time you kiss her, you're tasting my thing. I can't come back from that. You can't come back from it.
Yeah, but you ain't though, because we managed to wash our bits. Like, we are humans. We are not. We are self. In fact, if you wash too much, like for JJs, you can't use soap products down there because you will get thrush. The vajayjay is a self-cleaning organ.
So if you was good, you make this whole world poly.
No.
Okay.
No. I would make everybody who they want to be, but just I wouldn't like teach people to hate other people for whatever they're doing. Just because you don't understand something doesn't mean it's wrong. Just because you wouldn't do it doesn't mean it's not right. You don't like it takes so much energy to spout hate. So much energy.
Have you ever got like hosting your own event or doing your own like class or anything like that?
Like, this is something that I was talking about with my friend actually recently. I'm trying to figure out the sex positive spaces that I want to be in. And I went to like I say a sex party. It was like a sex positive party, but it was in the centre of London and a lot of people were on drugs and I don't feel comfortable around that. And that's not a kind of sex positive space that I want to be in.
So everyone just walk around like zombies, just...
No, not zombies. I'm guessing you've never done recreational...
Mushrooms, I've done mushrooms before.
That's not a recreational, that's a hallucinogenic.
Yeah, I'm more.
Yeah,
like
well,
lucid
that's
stuff.
more you.
Yeah.
But then you've got lots of people who are on ecstasy and
I'm
pills.
gonna do heroin.
Well, that's very hard drugs, babes. But you know the party drugs and stuff, like the people who are off gurning and things. Like I did all of that. in my early 20s.
It makes my jaw hurt.
Like, and I want to be in sex positive spaces, but I don't want to be on drugs and I don't want to be around people who are on drugs. And that's what I've discovered. You know, I'm trying to figure out the sex positive spaces that I want to be in, where I can be my true sexual happy self. And that just wasn't one of them. And I figured that out and I'm very happy. It's a bit like with, you know, sex work. I tried to do stripping in clubs. I didn't get on with that.
Seriously?
I didn't enjoy that.
Be real, in the strip club, are guys allowed to have intercourse with the girls in there?
No.
Okay.
God, no. The amount of regulation that is in there is ridiculous.
I mean, I've never been a strip club guy. I hate strip clubs personally, innit?
I do private hire stripping. So for like stag do's.
They
stuff
can't,
like that.
can they touch?
They can touch,
Okay,
yeah.
that's not
But
bad.
you can't do sexual acts. Like, obviously, that's illegal.
Yeah, I know.
But this is why I want to destigmatize sex work, because although escorting is technically illegal, loads of stuff surrounding it is not. So you're not allowed to run a brothel. You're not allowed to solicit.
What countries is it legal though?
Amsterdam.
Let's move to Amsterdam. What are we doing here, man? Let's go. EasyJet, baby.
Well, I mean, there is that. But then, I mean, every system that isn't regulated properly is open to abuse. And I know there are people who are pushed into the sex work industry because it is such a big money attraction. And it's not regulated enough that people, you know, brought in of their own will. They think they're going to be dancers, and that's not the case. So there's still problems with it. It's the regulation that isn't there. And the workers' rights that isn't there still. Yeah, we still have to pay tax, but we're treated like second-class citizens. It's unbelievable. Like, our bank accounts will get frozen. Our, obviously, pages are deplatformed. Yeah, loads of people can post loads of sexual stuff, but because they're not a sex worker, it's fine.
But yeah, anything to get your chest, let the people know before we leave.
to give my
opinion, anything you let off your chest, let the people know.
Don't be so quick to judge. Like, not everybody is in a position to be in a relationship, and everybody has intimacy needs. Let people do what they want. Let people be happy and pay for the experiences they want. You want to go in a race car and a Ferrari, do it. You want to go and have a lovely intimate time with an escort, do it. Why is either treated differently?
Do you think sex can solve the Israel versus Palestine war?
No.
Okay.
That is far more nuanced than we can even go into when it comes to sex. That is horrific, and I sympathise so much with the civilian loss, with all of that.
Big facts.
But I don't think we can deny the apartheid that is going on. Like, we can't. It's happened before, and it'll keep happening again until we learn our lesson.
Yes, your social medias. Where can people find you at?
Where can they find me at? So they can find me on Instagram at Peachdom369.2. They can find me on Twitter or X. When we do X, though, I think of the X Factor hands.
I'm not doing. I say
Makes
Twitter.
me cringe. I don't like it.
I still say Twitter.
Oh, and then so there's Twitter, and then I'm also on TikTok as well as Peachdom369 as well. So just look there.
Tipsy Talk, Wavy Wednesday, Champagne and Conversation, Bantam before bed. Here we go. Jeez.